Honestly, Genshin's a good spot right now. There's still some things they can improve, like a skip button. Yep, blah blah blah. It's because you've been playing since launch, but don't think it has much power creep as people think. Maoika's skirt coming out as strong as fuck is something, but that doesn't stop you from clearing all end game. Holy! Oh, this is from Akira Fangs. Gotcha. And he did say in Twitch chat that he left a really long comment. I'll still read it anyway. Let's see, that is stopping you from clearing all endgame, all with max stars. Do have Maoika but no skirt because you didn't want her, blah blah blah. Maoika's on ship build. I've seen countless videos of people clearing with many different teams, either 4-star only or not. Seen graphs of HP inflation people claiming that the game has, or that Natlan is propagating, even though some Fontaine bosses have had their HP increased more than some Natlan bosses. I've seen a constant amount of people say you need Natlan characters in order to kill Natlan bosses. Think that's false. They get faster, but don't think they're as neat as some people think. Don't think the power creep or HP inflation in Genshin is nearly as much as people want to believe, but that's just your take. I mean, yeah, for sure. A lot of people out there just hate Genshin. Some people in my live chats have even mentioned it themselves, but yeah, there's definitely a lot of people out there who just hate Genshin because, you know, they do something bad and they all fucking, you know, dogpile and that shit. All the fucking rats out there who brigade Wuthering Waves. Nothing against Wuthering Waves. I'm only dissing the retards who do that. The actual players and the fucking dogshit content creators, Tectone, Saint Tontus, for example. They can go fuck themselves. I mean, Tectone already has, actually, so hey, thanks for doing me a favor. WuWa is having its own problems with HP inflation and such. Feel like not many people are talking about it. Genshin does have some things it can fix, but overall right now, I think the game's done well with getting people excited for 6.0. Yeah, the level 100 thing is kind of controversial. I mean, I think it's very controversial. I think it should be considered more controversial than it is, but look at all the other stuff they added with 6.0. There are so many good things. Feel like WuWa is the worst sign up for a couple of reasons. Quit WuWa back near the end of Zanny's banner, so I don't speak too much on the game after that. Only from what you've seen from other CCs and friends you have playing the game. Always said that it's sad that WuWa doesn't bring back old characters. Feels like makes the game feel more lifeless and boring. Crazy to me that characters like Dungeon, Kalkaro, Calculator have been in games since 1.0. We have never met them in game, not officially anyway. New people will never know how Shangling Yao or Zheji or we'll never know Shangling Yao or Zeji because his story Zezha? I don't know who that's referring to. Because his story was locked behind an event in Quest in 1.0, don't think you can ever do it again. 2.0, it just feels like they cut off 1.0 and they don't care about it or the characters anymore. Characters we did meet or don't come back, or characters we did meet don't come back for events or story or anything. Hopefully they bring that back for 3.0, but we shall see. I think it's crazy that we went all the way to Renacita to help cure Abby or something, and from the story you did before you quit, don't think they ever really touched upon that. Didn't like 2.2 at all. Was very pretty. Ending song was really good though. Personally, don't think we learned much of anything from the Sentinel. They got orders from an old rover or something. They saved Cartwheel, but whole story just felt like a date with Cartwheel, and it just put you off. Cantarella was just there to be so crazy important, but she got like 2 minutes of screen time. But only less than half it matters because after their banners, the characters kind of disappear, and we've seen more and more people recognize this on WuWa subreddits and stuff. I mean, Cartwheel did come back for a 7-month story, but briefly, I think. Think it's crazy that for new players, that if you join the game now and pull on the banner character, you have to get through so much story just to unlock the region, so you can get the flowers to get level the character. I think they should do what Genshin does, let people just at least teleport to new regions, to at least be able to collect those things. You know, I actually never thought about that. Like, I knew that Genshin at least lets newer players, like, just teleport straight to, like, regions that are, like, further along down the line, like Sumeru or Fontaine or Natlan, I think. But I actually didn't take into account that WuWa doesn't do that either. Now, to be fair, WuWa is only a year and a half old. Like, there's only 2 regions, so, like, you know, and plus it has a skip button, so it shouldn't be as bad. But yeah, like if WuWa wants to keep up with Genshin, so to say, then yeah, I'm surprised they didn't like put in a feature like that themselves too. They honestly should. No reason why they shouldn't. I think it's crazy how needed some characters' weapons seem to be. Yeah, weapon ban is guaranteed, but the lack of really good 4-star variants is really disappointing. No variations good, but there are new BP weapons coming in WuWa. I think not sure how much they compare. I feel like every new character come out in WuWa, you hear that their weapons like 40% increase. To be fair, that was only for Olova so far. Augusta has gone back to a more reasonable increase of like 28%, but still that's still like 30% though. If you round it up anyway. or something crazy over the next best weapon. Bit of an exaggeration, but you get what you mean. Get what you mean. They've long given up 4-star characters. Yep, WuWa has has its own problem with not putting out any 4-stars. And I mean, not how good Yohu or Lumi are. It's understandable. You know, that's some 4-star weapons that people can use, but it just feels like they kind of want you to roll for a character signature because it's guaranteed. So why not spend the extra money? Gathering wise memes being so real from the game puts you out of it, more or less, more and more since 2.0. Don't even get started on the lack of male characters in WuWa. People bitch about lack of male characters in Zenless. Man, they should go play WuWa for once. It's a problem in a lot of gachas, and as a bonded lover, know that you're always going to get the short end of the stick, but in WuWa, it's kind of atrocious. Brant's story quest was just barely seeing Brant. It made you so incredibly mad. Then people saying, oh, just spend money on male banners to add more to WuWa. When you save like for 5 or 6 patches and had over 35k asteroids, what is my incentive to spend? What is my incentive to even spend money? Maybe it's changed, but WuWa events were never really fun. That fun. You like the combat, but too many combat events just annoy you personally. That's actually the opposite problem that we had. Akira, if you're in Twitch chat right now, these days events are actually more catered towards you because we don't have that many combat events anymore. We used to have plenty of combat events leading like up until like, I don't know, 2.0, 2.1 or something like that. But these days, for like the past 2 or 3 patches, including this one with Augusta, all of our major events have not had combat. So you might have enjoyed those better. I think ever since the TCG main event, whichever patch that was, what, like 2.2 or something, WuWa has stopped putting out like combat focused events, and we hardly get any combat focused events anymore these days, which fucking sucks in my opinion. Like they used to do like co-op event grind stuff like that. I thought that was pretty fun, man. Even though I'm not like the biggest fan of like co-op stuff. Like that shit was still pretty fun to do. Just watching like the three of us run around with our characters, just fucking blowing up everything. That was pretty fun for what it was. Like I would love to see them bring that back, but they haven't brought back a co-op event in like God knows how many patches. So honestly, the way that they're doing events right now is probably more up your alley. Akira. Let's see. Anniversary Cuban was so annoying. Calculator appearing in the anniversary quest, despite being nowhere else in his story, was was way more annoying. It's like the devs just kind of throw his ass in there just because. I don't know if you care about this, Akira, but Carl did show up as like the last opponent during the TCG event too. Like for no reason, he's just kind of there. I don't know if you even like really talk to him much, but he's kind of there. For what that's worth, I feel like WuWa adding flight was really good for exploration, but also kills exploration for you. Just like how they don't have to make the world more alive or filled, you can just kind of fly everywhere now. Or it just feels like the way they don't have to make the world feel more alive and fulfilled. They can just fly everywhere now. I would say that WuWa's environments are much better than they used to be in 1.0. I don't really have much of a problem with how like the environment and the ambience is like in 2.0. But yeah, because of flights, like you don't really have to care about it. Like you're never gonna take it in. So like, do you remember anything from any of the places you fly your ass to in Renacita? Maybe some people do, but I certainly don't. Don't feel like exploration is much. Don't like the exploration much in WuWa because it feels like you just fly from chest to chest. Not as many puzzles. Nothing really interesting happens. Just feels like feels more boring compared to Genshin. Even with stamina limits in Genshin, I feel like you never have a boring moment. There are plenty of exploration mechanics tied to the region. On your way to unlock one chest. Maybe autocorrect. Find that so many mini puzzles or hidden puzzles, you kill some random bird and it spawns a chest for some reason. Exploration can feel kind of dead once you 100% all the areas. Don't deny that. Just think that the experience of Genshin's is better. I think the most hilarious part about WuWa's exploration to me is that, you know how starting with Renacita, they just have like these gatherings of supply chests, right? So it's like, oh, you don't even have to like search around the entire place. Like they even give you a fucking loot mapper. So like, what the fuck is the point of the loot mapper when they give you those specific like chest like gathering areas where you can find like 4 or 5 chests all at once, right? What the fuck is the point of a loot mapper when all you need to do really is just track down those areas that have like the high concentration of chests? Like even the game even tells you, right, on your UI, like, hey, find like 3, 4, or 5 chests in this area. Use your sensor to track them all down. stuff like that, right? And they even fucking pinpoint them to you on your map. And at least for 2.0 and 2.1 Arena Sita, maybe even 2.2. Actually, I don't remember which patch we're on right now. Are we on like 2.4 or something at this point? But anyways, like the loot mapper is far superior to like the treasure compasses in like Genshin, and yet it doesn't like it. At least in Arena's Hita, it doesn't even do its job at its function as well, because it's like, well, all the chests are basically clustered up in these several areas. All you really need to do is just go to those clusters and just fucking open them, and there you go. You got most of the chests. Like maybe there's like a stray chest here or there that you do need to use the loot. You do need to use the loot mapper to like finally track down, but it's not. There's not very many of them. So it's like, actually, what the fuck was the point of that? The good thing about that though is that at least with the most recent patch with Augusta, it's like, yeah, there seems to be a few more chests that have been just like randomly scattered around. It's like, oh, what's this chest doing all the way over here, all the way off to like the edge of the map? Oh, maybe I should go check it out. So I do appreciate that at the very least. But yeah, with a lot of the Arena Sita the Arena Sita patches, at least before Augusta, it's like, yeah, like there's a checklist, bro. Just fly from one place to another, just find all the clustered chests, and you're basically good to go. Easy 100%. Gonna need WuWa to remove tuners. Heard they made it easier to get them now compared to before, but just get rid of them. Yeah, like I'll be honest, I've never really had a problem running out of tuners, but yeah, like, that is true. Why do we even need to use tuners in the first place? Feels super arbitrary, that's for sure. Optimization has always felt trash. Yep, already went over that, especially in Septimont. Optimization for WuWa has always... Oh, wait, I've already said that. People love to glaze WuWa and shit on Genshin. Honestly, both games have their faults. Genshin has things they need to fix for sure. Just don't think it's worse than WuWa right now. We're releasing 2.6. Damn, we're already on 2.6? Genshin going into 6.0, but of course that's your opinion, blah blah. Also, UGC coming is absolutely huge. Ready to try it. So much good coming in Genshin, blah blah. No, the level 100 thing isn't good for reasons, but I think people are blowing up when it really won't affect many people. Most people would be nice if they made it more accessible to make it easier to get by someone playing the game a long time. No, eventually get there. If they made it easily accessible to more people, they'll have to start balancing endgame around it so that we know people will scream for more power creep and HP inflation when they do that. That's actually a good point. I don't think that even if they did make it more accessible, which is what I personally want, they don't have to start balancing endgame around more people having level 100. They just don't need to do that. But I don't know. Maybe you're right. Maybe if MiHoYo did decide to make it more, more accessible to like the majority of players, maybe they'd feel compelled to be like, oh, all right, time to fucking adjust the game to that. But even still, now that I think about it, it's like Genshin and even Star Rail has had to nerf their content before, right? Not their endgame content, but like story content, right? Remember back when Genshin players bitched about how hard Tartaglia was, like the weekly boss for Tartaglia was, like not even as a weekly boss, but him in the story. So like Genshin had to like nerf him, right, to make him easier. Same thing with Star Rail, where people bitched about who was it? The super version of the beefed up version of Ventrain, and how a lot of Star Rail casuals were like, oh, he's too hard, and so they had to nerf his ass too, apparently. So me personally, I don't think it's a guarantee that just because they give everyone the ability to get at least one character to level 100, that they'll all of a sudden like make the overall difficulty of the game much higher. I don't think that's gonna happen, because the casuals definitely complain, obviously. But it is a valid concern, to be fair. Maybe it could happen in some form or another. I don't know. I just don't think it'd be very likely. It's funny because people are worried because they think they'll have to start balancing around. Okay, yeah. It feels like they're just rewarding whales, which is fair. They basically keep the game going when they put the money into it. I feel like live streaming gave something to everyone, including whales. That, like, even as a former whale myself, I don't like it that much. When people are like, oh, you gotta give whales something back too. Like, I don't quite agree with that, because like they're already getting something huge in return for spending money, which is C6 characters. So like, I don't know how I feel about that. I don't want to say that I completely disagree, because yeah, it does feel nice if you spend money on the game gives you some more stuff back in return. But In this case, I think that again, I'll elaborate more on my thoughts on this in a upcoming separate video, but just as a sneak peek preview, I guess. I don't think that this UGC thing, no, UGC is the user generated content, so that's something different. The level 100 thing, I genuinely think that that should be something that is available to everyone. I don't want that to be a whale exclusive thing, simply because of the way that I think gacha games should be. So it makes me kind of iffy on that, on the whole, like, oh, like, you should reward the whales too, because they're the ones keeping the game alive. It's like, yes, that's true, but, like, rewarding them with a mechanic that only they can use is... I don't know how I feel about that, especially when it's something that I genuinely believe that everyone should have access to. I think everyone should be able to have the ability to get a character that they really like to level 100, no questions asked. But again, I'll save those thoughts for a future video. But thanks, Akira, for your really long comment. But that was quite the fun ride. We managed to make it all the way through.